I'm so happy to be joined today by cinematic Canadian royalty, Caitlin Cronenberg. Caitlin, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad at all, thanks. The first question I absolutely have to ask, what was being at the Cronenberg dinner table like? I mean, your brother Brandon is very creative. We saw that with Infinity Pool. Of course, your father is legendary, and now yourself. And one of the things that I find with all three of you, nobody's making what I would call cookie cutter movies. All of your movies are extremely creative. So what was that? What were the conversations like at the dinner table? Because clearly there's a pun, forgive the pun. There's a pool of genius in the Cronenberg family.
I think he'll be disappointed to hear that we are just a boring family who talk about family things. We're very close. I love my dad and brother just like anybody else does, and I respect them creatively. But when we get together, it's really just about being a family. I've got two little kids, and that's just kind of the way it is. Of course, there are conversations about work. We always like to know what each other is doing, but the creative conversations happen more behind the scenes. They're more personal, I think.
Fair, fair. So of course we are here talking about your new film, Humane, which I had the opportunity of seeing, which I think is incredible. Can you tell the good people what Humane is about?
Ooh, Humane, without giving too much away, is about what I would call an alternate present, where there's been a global environmental collapse, and the government has instated a voluntary euthanasia program in order to cull the world's population by about 20%. And a father invites his four grown children to dinner to let them know that he's decided to enlist in this program, and they react, and then things happen, and then you have to see the movie if you want to know more.
Absolutely. People should definitely see the movie. I'll ask you this question if you can answer it. What do you want people to get out of Humane?
I want people to be entertained by Humane. Humane is meant to be a dark, dramatic, satirical, comedic, gory thriller. And if that's not going to entertain you, then I don't know what is.
No, absolutely fair. Fair. Now, you're of course, on top of being a filmmaker, you're also a well-respected photographer. Did your passion for photography make your transition into directing seamless?
I don't think any big transition in life is ever seamless, but I do believe that it was much more of an organic transition because of my background in photography. But the same goes for anything that you do for 20 years. You develop a certain amount of confidence, and then when you step onto a different kind of set, there is some confidence there. But also, directing a feature is unlike directing a music video. It's unlike directing a commercial. It's a completely new world. There are certain things that feel the same, but it's something that you only get to direct your first feature once, and everything that comes along with that. But I felt very, very lucky to be so well supported by an amazing cast and crew, and they really made the experience for me um, comfortable as I learned everything that I needed to learn on the
Mhm.
go.
Absolutely. A very impressive cast to start off with. Was the casting process very difficult for you, or was it just basically through a lot of the connections that you've made over the years, it might have made the process of getting a lot of those big names a little easier?
I mean, certainly, casting Jay and Emily was a bit less sort of conventional in that I texted Emily and I told her, I'm going to make this film and I really think you should be in it. And I think she said, yeah, absolutely, even having not read the script. Um, but Emily, having worked with her for many, many years in various contexts, was really, really open to hearing what I had to say. She came on board first, and then everybody wanted Jay, everybody, including Emily. And so together we kind of reached out to Jay, and I had worked with him for many years too, just to say, can you just take a look at this script? Jay's a director, Jay is a producer, an actor. He's got writing books and comic books. He's a busy person.
Mhm.
Um, and he chooses his acting jobs based on things that he feels excited about. And I was so honored that he loved the script. He was excited to be siblings with Emily. And once we had the two of them anchoring the cast, the rest of the family really just fell into place.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's a fantastic film, and I'm excited for people to see it. I want to be respectful of time, but it wouldn't be a Keith Whittier interview if we didn't do a couple of quick rapid fire questions. So, first question for you: can you tell me what is, and if you can't name one, I'll take a top three. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Vinny.
Pardon?
Vinny.
Okay, thank you. You did a project with Apple several years ago with the shot on the iPhone, where you were getting a lot of different portraits of Canadians, across the country. To this day, are you still using an iPhone? Excellent, excellent. And lastly, what advice would you give to emerging filmmakers?
My advice is what you're going to do is very hard, but it is worth doing. And stick with it and sleep while you can, drink a lot of coffee, and understand that what we're doing is a gift. It's a gift to be able to create something that will entertain somebody. And keeping that in mind and keeping that perspective is very important, but it's also incredibly hard. The industry in general is incredibly hard. So just stick with it. If it's something that means something to you, it's worth doing.
Excellent. I appreciate that. We've been talking with Caitlin Cronenberg, the director of the new film Humane. Very excited for this film for you. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. Again, it's a very different movie, but not different in terms of a negative way, but just very unique and very catching. And there's a lot of strong performances in there. So I'm hoping that the film does well, and I'm hoping we get to see more from you. So, Caitlin, thank you so much for your time today.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
You too. Take care. Bye now.